Hi family, welcome to D-Love Journey. My name is Tydesia. If you are new here, the fam calls me Deja D, and so can you. And on this channel, we journey through life, just discovering our higher selves, learning how to love on ourselves more and more, learning how to know ourselves more and more every day, and just encouraging each other along the way. So if that's something you can get down with, go ahead and subscribe to join the journey. We talk about all types of things. Today I am doing a video that I do every season. I'm a little bit late this season. I would call these like energy check-ins, seasonal energy check-ins. And so this video is for the spring. I would like to just vibe with you guys a little bit. I will say spring started a while ago. The spring equinox was March 28th, if I remember correctly. So right now we are at the, what is today? It's somewhere in April. Oh, it's the 21st. Ask me how I know, because it's Taurus season. Hey. And obviously I'm a Taurus, so. Anyways, I intended to get this video out spring equinox at the end of March. It's also in Aries season, but I'm a little behind schedule, so now we're in Taurus season, but hey, I'm not mad at that. So just vibe with me. You know, I never claim to be perfect, but I definitely move with the flow, and this is the time that I've been able to sit down and share this with you guys. So obviously that is intentionally for a reason. For me, spring represents, like I said, the new year. A lot of people celebrate New Year's Eve in January, and I understand it's a cultural tradition here in the United States. However, intuitively, spiritually, and just what sits right within myself is more so aligning with the seasons. And I know there are a lot of cultures outside of the US and even some Native American or indigenous cultures that also align with the timeline of the seasons, and that vibes well with me. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. This is like my fresh start. I'm kind of, you know, just finishing up my spring cleaning and resetting my home, resetting my goals for this year, really fine-tuning in on my finances, creating budget plans, and kind of like getting that fresh new energy of like new year and new start and fresh start flowing into my life. So that is what spring represents to me. And I feel like from a energetic standpoint, taking the time to embrace this energy, because it is very supportive, especially for those of us who do suffer with seasonal depression, and you're coming out of the winter, holiday seasons, and all these things, and kind of battling through what that looked like for you. Now is the time that you can really lean into the universe, lean into your spirit guides, lean into the Most High, and just really allow yourself to be supported through this new fresh reset. Just came here naturally, obviously. You know, today is a wash day, so I'm gonna be detangling this head, okay, which I'm obviously not looking forward to. I'm also going to be just, you know, resetting my outfits for the week, picking out my clothes for the office, finishing up little chores around the house, and, you know, giving my cat a bath, who's over there taking a nap in her hammock looking like a cutie pie. And so I just really wanted to come natural. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to put on makeup. I didn't feel like I needed to do anything extra. I just wanted to come sit and vibe with you guys straight out of my own personal practice and meditation. So here I am. This is how I sit to speak to the divine. This is how I sit and put my cards and you know, communicate and connect to my higher self and my team. So I feel like if this is how I could come to them, this is how I'm gonna come to you. Take it or leave it, all love, okay? All right, so let's jump straight into it. Thanks for sticking through the intro with me and chatting it up for the past 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the same deck I normally do, which is the Starseed Oracle. Okay, I'm gonna do our 3-card pull. I already cut and blessed this deck, but I haven't shuffled to see where we're at. And then I'm gonna do something a little new this time. I'm gonna also get some clarification from the Super Lunaris deck. I really love this deck. It was a gift from a friend, very good friend of mine. Yeah, it's a very beautiful deck. They did a great job. I love it. I can't even lie. Even my kitten loves it. Okay, you guys, don't judge me, but I feel like my cat is my roadie when it comes to, you know, me pulling cards and doing things like that. And so I don't really stop her from interacting with me when I'm pulling my cards. She'll be standing on my spread and this and that, and I just kind of try to vibe with it. But this is one of her favorites too. As you can see, she's a kitten and she loves to chew. And so she really ripped the box, but it is what it is. It's just the box. I don't let her chew up my cards though. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be kind of pulling clarification from this deck as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's take a second just to deep breathe. All right, gonna set intention for protection around us and calling in my guides and my ancestors to help me move through this energy, help me to connect to the collective and to not speak for myself or what I think should be, but instead what is. I ask for the discernment over myself and the viewers that we're able to understand the messages that come through if they apply to our lives, knowing where to place them, and if they do not belong to us, knowing when to let them go. Also calling on my ancestors to protect me in the midst of connecting to the collective, that my highest and greatest good always be looked after, and for the viewers that their highest and greatest good is also looked after, that no harm is done, no negative energy, meaning any harm may cross over or cross through during this reading. I want to ask for peace and clarity. I want to ask for wisdom beyond our own understanding, and that it flows through so that we may be able to use this time in the spring to really germinate and to grow the things that are meant to push our journey in the right direction, in the direction of self-awareness, in the direction of self-love, and in the direction of a happier being overall. With all this purpose, I say thank you. It is done. It is so. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the Starseed Oracle. I'm gonna go ahead and just tune in, and you guys do the same. If there are any major things that you would like to know for this season of what you where you should focus your energy. Sorry, I'm starting to tune in, so my words and things are starting to kind of but that's okay. Any things that you need guidance as far as what you need to focus on in this purpose of the season for you, any things that need to be laid to rest, let go of in order to move forward. Tune into yourself to receive and connect and get the answers meant for you. Okay. All right, Spirit. 3-card pull. Show me the foundation of this spring for the collective. What is the foundational energy? Okay. Show me the intention of this spring that we should nurture and water to flourish. Show me the intention of the spring waiting to be nourished. Beautiful. Show me the destination that this season of this journey is taking us. Show me the destination that this spring journey will take us. Ashe, thank you. All right. So I did jumper cards, if as you can see, or you can't see, but you can hear. I did jumper cards just to let spirit speak freely. I will show you what we have, and I will pull for any clarification as well. So the first question that I asked in the first position was for the foundation of the season. What is the foundation that the season has to offer us? And let me sit with the cards that we have here, and then I'll show them to you, okay? Okay, so for the foundation of this spring, we have star bathing, and I'm not sure if it was in our last spring reading, sorry, y'all have nails, so bear with me, or if it was in our summer reading that we got this card, but I do remember us pulling this, star bathing. It says light body crystal grid transmission and activation. Then we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Okay. And then we also have these two cards that came out in reverse, which is lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. So this came out as kind of like a blocked energy right now. And then we also have deep cellular healing. This was also reverse. Okay, sorry y'all, that's probably too close. Okay, so first thing that came to my mind when I'm looking at these cards is this is a period where you're not just facing our shadow, but embracing it. With these two reverse energies, I'm looking at this kind of as a place where there are some things that may still be lingering that kind of don't feel all the way laid to rest from the winter. And Spirit wants to acknowledge, like, it takes time to work through those things. Sometimes when you experience things, the wound doesn't just heal overnight. Some wounds heal quickly, some take longer than other. But the whole process of healing is an everyday, every minute, every second thing. And so as long as you're not continuing to do something to open that wound, it will eventually heal. Just be mindful that you're keeping it clean. Be mindful that you are resting, that you're taking care of your body so that it can do what it needs to do to move forward. And I think that that metaphor applies not only to the physical body, but our emotional, our mental, and our spiritual bodies as well. And so this is just a nod of recognition towards all that you have been experiencing. And Spirit is kind of calling you to face towards the light and allow them to continue to heal that wound. And your only job really is to stay away from the things that continue to open it. Stay away from the things that continue to irritate the wound so that you don't create complications in that healing process and healing journey of the things that you've already realized no longer serve you. Also, I'm hearing like it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work to get to that point, and they want to acknowledge that as well. Offering a helping hand and saying all you need to do is face the right direction, face the light. So again, this reference of looking towards the light. This kind of feels like this season, the foundation of this season is allowing the divine, allowing the universe, allowing God to take the load off of your shoulders, to kind of wash over you this beam of light, this beam of healing, and to kind of allow you to just focus on those things that bring you happiness and healing. It's also, I'm feeling like there may be some people who haven't been doing the work. And I'm just hearing now's the time to start. It's never too late to start fresh, to come back to that place where you sit with the divine, that you sit with your spirit guides, your higher selves, and that you release and cleanse and work through those things. I feel like some of you may have been, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards. I feel like some of you may have been focusing too much on the shadow, focusing too much on the pain or the wound or whatever the source of an alignment has been. Yeah. And that the divine is kind of calling you to instead about face and like turn all the way around and kind of like go in a different direction. No longer make yourself available to that source of unalignment, and to completely turn away in whatever way that looks like in your life, to completely turn away from that. And you know what that is. That is something different for everyone. But at the base, it's giving this energy, Four of Cups. You see how she's completely turned away? This is the about face energy that I'm talking about, where it's like, I am uninterested, I am unable, I am unaligned with that, to connect with that anymore. And kind of it's this internal feeling of knowing that you belong someplace else. Your energy and your time and belongs placed elsewhere. I also feel the divine is kind of calling you away from this so that they can create this space for you where the air and the world kind of opens and lightens up. And when I pulled, I got the Three of Wands here. As you can see, she's looking off, away into a new direction and new adventures and new creations or whatever is on its way to her. You have to face that. And you cannot fully keep your eye out for all the ways that the divine, the universe wants to bless you and wants to create peace and create zen in your life if you are so busy focusing on the source of your unalignment or your wound or your shadow and all the ways that you are needing to improve. And I personally can relate to getting caught up in that shadow work, and especially, you know, experiencing seasonal depression. Like sometimes it's you get caught in that loop and it's hard to look away from all the ways that things aren't going how you desire them to. And I feel like this season, even though we are in May now and there's still time, is calling for you to kind of not do anything but face the Most High, face the divine, reconnect with the universe. Like just start there. There's nothing specific that you're being called to do other than to turn around and face the other direction, if that makes sense. We also have Three of Cups here. So as you can see, a lot of three energy. And to me, this is all about the realignment of your feelings and your passions, the realignment of where you place your attention, the realignment of where you allow your heart to go, who you allow to touch your heart, how you celebrate yourself or how others celebrate you. Direct yourself in the way that creates you light of the universe, showing you what you deserve. You know what you deserve, right? So yeah, I think it's just this moment where you're kind of like, you know what, like new energy, new me. Like, yeah, that was me and I'm not pretending that wasn't me, but I am making a choice to use the discernment to know that this ain't it. This ain't it. And so in me knowing that, I can't continue to stay in this space knowing it's not it and expect the universe to be able to reach me there. I have to turn and I have to face in the direction in which I'm being called to heal, to recreate myself, to create this air or this level of comfortability for myself. And that's a beautiful foundation, if you ask me, with the spring. And the stars are definitely in alignment to help you with that. Especially with this full moon that we're about to experience, that would be a great time to kind of release the things that are really holding you back. Release the things that are not in alignment with you. And if you aren't fully sure of what those are, really sitting with the divine, sitting with the universe to kind of figure out what that looks like for you, and just writing it out, burning it out, and letting your spirit guides take care of that. You know, let it go and face the light. So that is the foundational energy of the spring. I'm definitely here for that. It feels good. I'll say that. It feels really good. So the current lesson, the current message of this season, that the season has to bring us this spring, I pulled one card only, and it is the Lost Lands. So bear with me. I want you guys to be able to see this. It's kind of like an underwater Atlantis kind of vibe. It says soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. So yeah, looking at this card, it's definitely giving like Atlantis vibes and lost lands. I think this is also referencing back to the major turnaround that is awaiting us, because it's not just you, it's me, it's all of us. This is the collective read. So take the pieces and messages from this that directly align to your journey. But remember that this is a collective read of energy. This is something that everybody in the world is experiencing in their own personal ways, right? So the main message and the main gift that this season has to offer us this spring is the lost lands. And I think this is when you turn around and you face the other direction, you remember this familiarity of when things don't always have to be bad. Like, I'm being called back to a time where you remember when you used to laugh, you remember when you were happy, when you had a good time. And for some of us, those could have been times when we weren't fully aware, where we weren't necessarily doing our self-work, but we were happy. We were happy. There are pieces of that journey and pieces of that like life that still serve you. Do you remember her? Do you remember him? Do you remember them? Do you remember? Okay. I think that I'm pulling some cards for clarification right now. I think that when we look back on who we were, and again, like the shadow side, we get caught up in this shadow energy. It is very hard for us to remember the time and the space where the little pockets of positivity or the little pockets of like happiness lived. And the old versions of ourselves, our ego and all these things that we try to kill out, our shadow side we try to kill out, they will always be a part of us in some kind of way. Now, with using discernment and knowing which parts created havoc in your life and which parts, you know, were tainted by trauma or, you know, experiences, you have to be able to kind of know how to polish some things off. You have to know when something is at its last leg and it's ready to go. But also you have to know when something is like an antique and valuable and worth kind of picking back up and refurbishing is kind of what I'm hearing, right? And so to me, this is giving like the treasure hunt of life. It's like picking up things that are maybe old practices, old habits, like going to the gym, or maybe certain diet practices, or maybe certain friends, activities, locations that you used to hang out in that like actually did serve you in some way. And instead of connecting those negative feelings, those negative traumas, or like the chaos that may have been going on around us, you have to be able to detach that perspective or illusion and see it for what it actually is, whether it was something that served you or whether it was something that did not, if that makes sense. So I pulled a couple of cards clarification First card we have here is the Moon card. Sorry, my camera is not focusing that great. Hopefully you can see that. Moon card. We also have Tower card. Right? There we go. And Seven of Swords. So, sitting with this card or these cards, I'll say the first thing I'm hearing and feeling is like there are going to be a lot of major changes, a lot of major shifts happening right now. And I'm just getting this image, and for those of you who are familiar with Christianity or the Bible, there's a story in the Bible where I think it's Sodom and Gomorrah, and you know, they say don't look back, you turn to a pillar of salt. This is kind of the energy this is giving me right now. Be very cautious and careful of how you choose to engage with that source of unalignment behavior and feeling. I feel like we're reaching the point right now where you have to really make decisions to move forward. And you want to be careful not to get stuck or caught back into that cycle, because the effects that it could have moving forward, and I'm just going to be honest, this is not to scare you, but it's true, could have more permanent, lasting effects than you realize. We've kind of reached this point where like, you can't really keep playing games with this anymore. Either you're going with this fresh start, you know, Page of Wands, either you're ready to move forward in this new journey of manifesting this new energy and this new feeling for yourself and for your well-being and for your cup to runneth over, or you're choosing to remain stuck in the disillusion and the unalignment, the disalignment, unalignment. I don't know. You know what I mean. So I think that the major message of this season is choose your side. Choose whether you want to get back to your higher self, focusing on your higher journey, back on track, back on the path of doing what serves you and doing what's for your best. It's kind of like this energy of no more dibble dabbling, because what you think you've continued to engage in and what you think like your perspective of the situation is, you want to be careful because it feels very elusive. It feels very elusive. One thing that maybe you were able to do safely for many, many, many years may all of a sudden not be safe to do anymore, if that makes sense. Someone maybe you've engaged with and kind of been able to like maintain this sense of control before things like boil over to the edge. And like I'm seeing like a pot of boiling water, and it's like it starts at a low simmer and then slowly it goes to a roiling boil. And the next thing you know, it's like boiling fully. And the next thing you know, it's like boiling out the pot. Like, you know, I'm feeling this energy of like things switching in an instant and kind of like a shock. And so that can go either way. It can go in the way of being engaged with things that are outside of where we want to go, and being engaged in the direction that we want to go, and kind of seeing this quick reaction. And so the spirit is basically moving to tell you like, now is the time, here is the space for you to choose where you want to go, and for you to kind of reset the direction that you're heading. And if you don't get on the boat, you don't know when that boat's coming back around. They're calling you to a higher, better place. And the first step of that is to lay down that which has been holding you back and to about face, completely turn the direction in which you are and face where you want to go. And if you really, truly, wholeheartedly make that change and face the divine, face the universe, face the light, right? Then you will allow the universe to kind of move you away from that, move you into the space that you are meant to be and back to who you are, the things that you've lost, the gifts, the abundance, the happiness, the wellness. Like, those are the things you should be journeying towards in this moment, and that you are being guided to journey towards, because that what you've been engaging in has not served you, or just doesn't make you feel good. Like, those things you have to turn your back on. You really do, in order for you to maintain this, you know, maintenance. So that's the major message of this time. It's kind of like this, I don't want to say crossroad, but it's like you're starting off on a path, on a journey, and you have to choose, like, which way are you going to take? And like, you don't know the difference between the paths because you can't see it. And you may think, oh, I take this way all the time, but this time you take this way, it might be the day that a tree is laying across your path and you cannot pass, or it might be the day that you come across a bobcat, wildcat in the, you know, like, you don't know anything, right? You never know when you go down this path what there might be. There still may be some bumps and rocks, and there may be a steeper climb, but what's at the end, you know, is yet to be seen, if that makes sense. So I pulled the last placement for our destination, and kind of just like the major lesson in what this season will bring us moving forward. And so I have Inner Earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings, and great severing, Mars energy. Funny, because we just passed through Aries season. Anger, conflict, softening to love. Okay, so we have Inner Earth. This is our destination. This is our destination. Do you see that? Are you kidding me? Inner Earth. New solutions and new beginnings. And this, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Softening to love. Look at the transition on that bad boy. We are moving into, I don't know which way is like left to right or whatever, how you read the book, but you know what I mean. Look at the transition. Look at the transition. It's giving. Walk into your new life. Walk into your new body. Walk into your new confidence. Walk into your new abundance. Walk into your new discernment. Walk into your new voice. Walk into your new house. Walk into your new vibe, okay? Walk into your new relationships. Walk into that newness. It's time to let go of the old. Winter is over, honey. You know, and I think this is kind of like a reminder to us that all those conflicts and all of those struggles can be softened into love, even if it's not in those people, those situations, those circumstances. Within you and your part in it can be softened back into love, back into grace, back into peace, back into joy, back into understanding, back into all of that. And the major thing that leads to that is kind of this movement, this transition, is choosing to go a different way, choosing to feel a different way, choosing to be a different way. What is the key? What is the key to this transition, this softening? Okay, beautiful. Anything else? beautiful. So what is the key to this transition for us from this Mars energy that we have here, the conflict, the anger, the drought, the dry period, the winter, all the things that we've been kind of like trying to sew up. And even though it is spring, it doesn't mean that shit just goes away. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's a journey, it's a transition, right? It's a softening. It's like a melting of the hard ice into this. So my question is, what is the key to that, you know, to that journey, to that transition for us? How can we call that into our lives? And we have 2 cards here. We have this 5 of Wands here and the Empress. Okay, 5 of Wands and the Empress. So these are our transitions. Look at this. I can't, me personally, I can't make this up. So I give gratitude to the Most High. I give gratitude to the divine, to the universe for aligning these cards with my words and the message. This Mars energy, the conflict, the little fights, the constant nicking, picking, complaining, the back and forth, the, oh, I'm just joking, I didn't mean it, the whatever, that energy is what we're walking away from. Anything that's constant conflict, that just, it can never just be smooth. It's always volatile. It's always a change, one thing to the next, one thing to the next, one thing to the next. It's just this movement of unsettledness. This is what we're stepping away from, okay? What we're moving into and what we're picking up is this Empress energy, and I'm loving this. Do you see her? Does she look like she give a care in the world about any of that? She is in nature. She is in her zen. She is in her creative space. She is connected to the divine, okay? She is journeying and reaching for this new inner earth, this new inner sense of joy, of peace, right? She is eyes closed, face to the sun, open for the universe to change and to shift her world and to create this. She is facing away from the BS and focused on herself and how she can create the things in her life that she desires that bring her happiness. She don't want to hear nothing. This is when I say she, it's not just she, like it only applies to women, but in this card, Empress energy, don't want to hear nothing that doesn't pertain to this feeling right here, this feeling right here of wholeness, of creativeness, of openness. This is what we're calling in and birthing into our lives. This is the key. It's moving away from anything that feels like this chaos energy, this fighting energy, this I have to work too hard to make this happen energy. No, this is not what we want. This is not what we're calling in. This is not what we're aligning to. This is what we are about facing away from, okay? Not to say that this journey won't require hard work, not to say that this journey will be always sitting down in bliss, but this is what we are striving for. This is what we are aligning with. This is what we are manifesting and pulling ourselves towards. And if you remember right here, we got big 3 energy, honey. Big 3 energy. Do you see this energy? They do not give a care in the world about any of the other things going on that are not bringing harmony and bringing peace and bringing abundance and bringing joy and bringing grace and bringing relaxation and bringing happiness. Did I say happiness and abundance? If it's not giving this, they don't want to hear it. Okay, so it's embracing that space where you allow yourself to be filled, to be cared for, to be well, to engage in only that which brings you happiness and joy, that what makes you feel supported, you know? That is the destination of this spring. I can only imagine what that summer energy is gonna be like, because that's beautiful. And the last thing I had here that popped out last was the World card. And it's funny because this is my card for this year, 2024. numerology wise is 8. And when I add that in with my birthday, my card of the year is the World card. So it's a full graduation here. This is the completion of cycles. This is the last major arcana card in the tarot deck where we make it to like this graduation period and finally push past that cycle that we continue to go through. And for many of us, these cycles have been years, not just seasons, but like years. I know personally speaking for me, it's been at least 4 years of this cycle that I've been like moving through. And so what this spring has to offer is kind of like that final chance to like bounce back from that wall and to close that cycle out, right? And to move forward to the next journey, because there will always be a cycle. There will always be a cycle that we're in. There will always be like a lesson that we have to learn, something that we will experience, some level of abundance, some level of pain, some level of joy, some level of love, laughter, everything. Like, it never ends. That's the whole point of being here on this earth, is to learn these things, is to experience life. And so what happens is you just graduate into a new cycle, into a new experience, right? And so what this spring will lead you through is the graduation into that next cycle. And you see how she's facing forward to the light here. We have more of like the darker colors here on this side. And we have all this light here. She's facing that face to the sky and waiting to be taken to that next journey. That is what this spring has to offer us. Do you want to repeat the same cycle that you've been in for however long you've been in it? Or do you want to graduate to a new one? The choice is yours. Where you choose to focus your energy, where you choose to face, that's your choice. But know that unlike the past seasons that we've been having where there's no time rush, there's no whatever, and not to say that your time is up, but I will say how you move through this spring and what you choose to do will decide what your next cycle will be. How long that cycle will be, I don't know. That's above me. Okay, but just know that this is a graduation point, and final exams are in, babe. Final exams are in. Do not let anybody else, anything else, no job, no person, no friendship, no relationship, no family member, no financial burden, no health concerns stop you from facing your true north. Stop you from feeding into yourself the love and the light and the things that you need to feel better in your mind, body, and spirit. Don't be robbed of that. Don't let anyone snatch your paper, turn in your homework under their name, copy your shit. No, this is your journey. This is your cycle. This is your graduation. Pour into that like you've never poured before. Allow the universe to take care of the rest. Meet them in the place that you connect to your higher self, whether that's yoga, whether that's drinking smoothies, whether that's going outside more, whether that's getting more rest, whether that's staying out of the party scene, whether that's, choosing to hang out with family more. Maybe for you, it's choosing to hang out with family less, leaving that relationship, giving that love a chance. Like, whatever it is for you, you know what that is, that thing that you've been teetering and tottering back and forth with, not really sure how to move forward. Now's the time to make the choice and the change in your heart and your mind to choose you. That is where we're at this spring, and it will be so worth it to choose you. The universe has already chosen you. You just need to meet them there. That is so beautiful. Thank you, Divine. I am so grateful for that. Normally I pull a card and I read it at the end. I'm not, here we go, opposed to that. Any final word directly from the universe? Oh, okay, that was quick. We have called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. I cannot make this up. Okay, I'm gonna read this and this will be the end of our reading. Let me find it. called, okay, Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. Let me see if I can, bam, put it right there. You came to Earth with a double mission: to grow as a soul and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is your soul is calling you towards, for it is encoded within the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some of you may already be aware of, others of you are just beginning to uncover. You're being called to remember that your soul intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out your soul's mission and share your soul's gifts. You're being called towards positive and creative projects, a passion or an adventure. This card is your confirmation that you are facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or think, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and leap, and consider perhaps that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. A starseed activation would be to place this card or pause this, or just to look here in this card and say, I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I am ready to embody them all now without hesitation or fear. I fully commit to being here now, and I am ready to step into my soul's highest and most potent calling. I've been training for this for lifetimes. I can't make this up. This is a position of major choices. Major choices, okay? Major choices. Do you hear me? Graduation time. Don't get stuck in that same cycle. You came here to do something important. You are valuable and you are worth it. Face that which pours into that and shows you that. And do not get stuck in the illusions that hold you back. Okay? Do not let anyone hold you back. Do not let anything, any job hold you back. Start that business. Start that family. In that relationship, sell that house. Go to that country. You better do it, babe. You better do it. All right, I hope this leaves you feeling better about the spring and that you're able to kind of create and shift in your life how you need to for your highest and greatest good. Closing this circle of communication, I show gratitude to my ancestors and my guides for helping me get through this message. I hope that you are left feeling protected. I hope that you are left with more clarity, and I hope that you are able to move through this spring and choose you, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and close this out now and go on with my beautiful day. I hope that you guys continue to learn yourself more and love yourself more and more every day. And I will see you in the next video. Sending my love as always. Peace.